What's up, SMITE fans? Happy Friday and happy Valentine's Day to all you Aphrodite and Cyno duos out there. My name is Dulcin, and you are watching the SCC Week 1 North America qualifiers. We got some semifinals and a final for you here today. My name is Dulcin, and we've got some tenure on the desk with me here. Graham Hindu Man Hadfield.
Tenure?
Yeah, tenure, right?
You're pretty tall, actually, Dave. I don't like this.
Here, well, why don't we help you out a little bit there?
Okay.
There we go. That's a little bit more even.
Yeah, I like this. Look at that. I feel good.
Graham, how you feeling, man?
I'm feeling great. This is your first deck segment, though, right, for SMITE?
That's right. That's why we had to bring in the tenure, right?
Yeah. So,
kept me up here on my own.
A lot of people at home definitely don't know you that well.
Sure.
Right? So I'm going to throw you a curveball straight away.
Oh, great.
You
This
ready
is
for
perfect.
this one?
All right, go ahead.
So we're going to do a bit of a quiz, Dave, just so the fans at home know what you know, right? So they can understand that you're good enough to do this, okay?
So nothing.
I have full faith in you.
Yep.
These are very easy questions. The general SMITE community will know the answers to these two.
Oh, perfect.
Okay.
So if I don't, I'm in trouble.
Yeah, but I have faith, you know?
Yep,
and the fans will also endear to you because of it.
We already have taken a quiz, just so everyone knows. We had a very lengthy 50-question quiz.
So this is only 3 questions, and maybe a bonus one if you need it, okay? Question 1, how many kills in the SCC NA this week, up to this point?
Up to this point.
Yeah.
SCCNA.
Yes, sir. Easy one.
75.
For the whole of the SCC, Dave?
I don't know.
The whole of the SCC.
Oh. 150.
Great work. 2,600. 2,695.
Yeah. Well, in all of the SCC.
2,695.
Oh, see, I thought we were
NA
just talking about.
No. NA only. Question 2. Okay, listen. I'm not as confident about this one, but this is kind of easy, okay?
Yep.
How many deaths in the SCC NA edition this time?
Wait, how many kills did you just say there were?
Exactly. Because
The
it should
same
have
amount of kills as you. 2,000 something.
Yeah, 2,695 was that.
Squiggly line,
So you wanna go with that?
2,000. Yep.
Would have been right. The
Right.
problem was it was actually 2,699. That means 4 people died.
Yeah, it died to.
on the map to either towers or neutral camps. I want to know who you are, by the way. I want to find out who those are. So you're 0 and 2 right now, Dave.
0 for 2.
These
You're
viewers,
telling me that the SMITE community knows these answers.
these viewers will know this.
Okay.
They will know these answers. Like,
All right.
they are intrinsically invested. They know every stat.
Would you say it was 2,600? I'm writing it down.
2,699 deaths, okay?
99,
Up to this
right.
point, we've still
Got it.
got a broadcast today, right?
Yep, we do.
All right. This is an easy one. Okay? Another one that viewers will get to. This is the only chance to really redeem yourself at this point.
Yep.
Who was the 7th most banned god in the SCC this week?
The 7th most
The 7th
banned
most
god.
Everyone
the
knows this
7th
one.
most.
Yeah. Everyone knows the top 7.
Thor.
No. Oh, it wasn't bad. Thor was in the top 7. It wasn't 7th.
There's an
It was
asterisk then, right?
Kamazot's.
All right, so I get an asterisk 1, surely.
Dave, this didn't go as well as I expected it to be opening that segment, I'll be honest. I hope to...
So I'll leave and you got it on your own, yeah?
All right, one more question.
All right, one more
This is your
question.
bonus question. Yeah?
Yep.
If you get this one, I don't have anything for you. You ready?
Yep.
What is Odin's 3 called?
Gungir's Might.
Oh, we go on!
And it just got buffed. There's a stun on it now if you fully charge it.
It does? Look at that, he's done some home.
I imagine he's going to be in picks and bans today pretty heavily, yeah?
Speaking of picks and bans, what are we casting today?
We're casting the bracket. Let's take a look at the bracket.
Casting the bracket?
We're not casting the bracket. We're casting the games from this bracket.
We're casting!
You are casting one of them. I am desking all of the games today. I'm hosting the bracket. Baskin and the boys locked in goated the semifinal number 2 with Trick, Babushka, and Hype Unit for semifinals number 1. But the one we're watching, Graham, Baskin and the boys up against Locked and Goated. Let's look at Locked and Goated maybe first off. Baskin and the boys, because they have a pretty memorable roster, I would say, top to bottom. So let's take a look at Locked and Goated first. I think the name that immediately jumps out to me on this roster has got to be Cyno in that jungle.
I mean, world champion, right? He's won the world champion title. He also got MVP there. But now he's playing in this bracket alongside some names that you may not recognize at home, honestly.
Right.
Żtuart, Quig, Pegon, if you remember that, and RelentlessOne. I do believe Pegon's being subbed in, though, however, for a different player today. But we'll get to that a little bit later on. This team, on paper, a lot of people won't really recognize. They're kind of a ranked all-stars team to an extent. Well-known faces in North America for the most part. But Cyno on this roster, that's the name you're going to turn to.
Well, you need a little bit of support from some SPL World Championship talent, especially going up against Baskin and the boys. Namesake Baskin, he's going to be playing mid for them. This is a roster that's stacked with SPL talent, some more so than others. Meerkat, Geno, Baskin, Mast, and Aquarius.
Aquarius.
Is Baskin the centerpiece of this team?
Well, everyone will say that because he's probably one of the best players at the game.
Sure.
If he plays the way we know he can play.
Right.
But we also know that he likes to have a lot of fun and mess around a little bit. Could become a little bit more awkward if he's not playing up to the standard we expect to see. One biggest note on that team is Meerkat, who's been in this team for a while. He was playing mid, but now he's going to be in the Hunter role. I want to see how he adapts to this new Season 7 stuff.
Yeah, he's going to have Geno as his guardian in that lane. Let's jump into picks and bans. We talked about Odin. Maybe that's going to be a big center point here.
You know what Odin was?
What's that?
Second highest ban so far in this tournament.
And see, here's my logic in that. I didn't say Odin because I knew he was going to be so banned. That's why I was like, maybe there's somebody somewhere in the middle.
Saving yourself, that's
I have to gas myself at some point here because I
Someone
didn't know
has
there
to.
were 2,699 deaths so far in the SEC so far this week. Isis and Heimdall, first two banned out. Yamoja and Kamazatsu, number 7 banned out, is actually the first pick here from Locked and Goated.
And also number 1, Yamoja, the most banned so far in the SEC. You said yep like you knew.
I figured it would be because Yamoja's super strong at this point, and I'm not surprised to see teams prioritizing her.
Why is she super strong, my analyst friend?
Well, she's got a lot of chain CC right now. The way that she works can really lock down a lot of targets, so I'm not surprised, I think, to see Locked and Goated taking her off the board.
He knows what he's doing. You're all worried over nothing. He knows what he's talking about.
Were people worried? No.
Huh?
No. Oh, God.
No.
Save me.
Now, Persephone does get through for Baskin's team, and Persephone is someone that you don't really see in your normal ranked games too often. She doesn't necessarily perform very well because it's all about team play with Persephone. You want to work around the plants that she generates. She kind of sets up a farming area where she wants to empower her team in that zone.
Sure.
Outside of that zone is where she will struggle a little bit. So we'll see how Baskin and the boys do with this.
Well, she's, I would say, maybe flexible. I mean, does she kind of shoehorned into one specific role? Do you see her mid, maybe in the Guardian spot?
No, Season 6, we did see a lot towards the dual lane with her because it's a little bit more of a free farm situation. There's a little bit more farm available for the 1v1s. But with Season 7, the question is, well, do the supports start in the dual lane anymore? Does that mean Persephone's not going to get as much farm? They're the questions to find out today.
That's right. Lots of changes coming into Season 7 that I'm sure we'll see play out early in this game. That's Thor, Kukulkan, and Hachiman rounding out the first 3 from Locked and Goated with Kumbhakarna and Ravana for 2 and 3 for Baskin and the boys. Second round of bans starting to come through here with Geb, Jingwei, and Ratatoskr banned out from Locked and Goated.
Yeah, no real surprise. A bit shocked actually at the Ratatoskr ban just because Ravana, we see a little bit more in the jungle than anywhere else. So why Locked and Goated decided to ban that away? That tells me that maybe they think this Ravana could be in the solo lane instead. They want to make sure that Ratatoskr is not available.
Well, they're going to grab Serqet for their 4th overall pick. I am curious. I mean, I brought up Baskin so heavily because, you know, Aggro likes to gas him as maybe the best Smite player in the world at the moment. You think if you're Locked and Goated, you're identifying him in this pick and ban phase, or is this so early on that you're purely just drafting on a tier list?
I think you kind of, not on a tier list, I think it's more where you think the strengths and weaknesses are. The best thing about the start of the year, no one really knows what's strong, what's weak in terms of gods. The pressure on the map could change at any moment. There's going to be focus towards dual lane. Is solo going to get more focus now? Because, you know, there's a little bit more farm on the map. Does the junglers rotate a little bit more? That's the real question, sir.
Oh, I see Serqet and Kali locked in here for Locked and Goated.
Very assassin heavy, Des.
Yeah, who goes where there?
That's a good question. Honestly, looking at this, I think it's either Serqet or Thor in the support role. Probably leaning Serqet a little bit, even though she did take some nerfs. Kali in the jungle is kind of where she could be, but we have seen some Kali flex to the solo lane before. It wouldn't surprise me to see her there.
Oh, you got Locked and Goated and Baskin and the boys as semifinal number 1. Finch, Aggro, take it away.
More than happy to, Dave. Thank you for dealing with Hindu Man on the desk.
What is Hindu Man's problem?
I have no earthly idea what it is that he's out here to do. We're here to have a Smite broadcast, and he's doing his own thing.
Well, he is a savage. Like that's
just how people know him.
Season 7, we're back in the saddle, baby. He's back in the savage role for sure.
Exactly right. Well, let's try and get in. There's so much to break down here at the start of Season 7, but we got to start with these drafts, right? Locked and Goated, put the Thor in the solo lane. We're seeing that so much now. Kali has kind of had a resurgence lately as a very strong jungler, and then you put this Serqet over in the support role. There's already some action. Mass catching out andinster here in the jungle, who is the support for this team, had to sub in here for them. I believe it was Quig who could not play, and that's the blue buff grabbed by Mass.
And that's the new hand of the gods that Mass just used there to guarantee that speed goes his way pretty easily. But look, this invade from andinster still does the job. It's changing the path of Mask, and it sets Baskin behind because it forces him to go and share this mid wave. Geno does the exact same thing on the other side of the map, trying to harass Cyno.
You might even be able to make the argument that just having to have Hog by itself is already a bit of a concession, right? Because you can't put anything else in those potion slots.
It's 100
too.
gold. I mean, it's not free.
Yeah, so certainly, I think there's already been a ton of value out of andinster playing this Serqet support. It's just an aggressive draft from Lock and Goaded, right? So we're going to be seeing this team with 3 assassins on it, despite where they're going to be playing, probably looking to be aggressive from minute 1. And I think that's how you have to play against Baskin and the boys. They are not going to give you any respect, very likely.
No, none at all. That's just the play style they had all last year under Armada in the minor league. I mean, this is a squad that had a lot of success. It played very, very well basically all year. Now you've got Meerkat rotating over from mid into that ADC role. I think he can fit pretty well there. And Aquarius being the new addition in this solo lane, I think is exciting. I think Aqua could really have a revitalization year. Obviously had a bit of a tough one last year.
Blue buff successfully defended that time. I think Mast committed to blink to make sure that he made it in. But you're right, man. I think Aqua was one of the ones, you know, Space Station had a lot of problems, but I don't think you could have said that it was Aqua, and I don't think you could have said much about Barracuda's play. So there were certainly some other question marks there, but now maybe a chance for Aquarius to come out and show he is still one of those top-end players if he and the rest of this team can make a bit of a run. So that's one thing to look at. Talk to me a bit, though, about we might have to wait. Cyno looking for action over here in the long lane. That's Meerkat. Does have the dive bomb to retreat. And Cyno, even with the extra movement speed, can't quite get close enough. At the very least, though, forces out the beats. That's
still a good beads by Meerkat. Geno here might be able to do a little bit in order to help out and gets the enemy ADC beads in return. Good rotation over by Geno. So the fact that Cyno didn't have Blink, probably used it earlier on in order to try and get away from Geno and his invade, was pretty impactful there and made it so Meerkat had a lot more room to run.
And this is why that andinster on the Serqet support is so valuable, right? Because they have exact idea of where Mast is for that gank that Cyno's making. They don't have to worry about the Ravana potentially being there either. So it really is largely safe for them. But like I was trying to ask, we could talk about these mage builds a bit. The Restored Artifact is kind of the de facto start now.
A lot of people are liking it. I think it is one of the stronger starts, but Aqua might have the first kill of Season 7 competitive. There it is. I mean, you were looking for him to step up and have a better year than last year. Gets the solo kill onto RelentlessOne, who is Russian Poppy.
Right.
By the way, a bit of a name change for him, playing against his brother and Geno on the other side. But Aqua setting the assassin. I mean, Thor used to be a warrior way back on release, but it's been a minute since those days. Still has those assassin stats, and Aqua was able to punish him with a pretty good trade. And this is before he even gets that Jade Emperor's crown that makes him basically impossible to trade against in that lane. The good news is that hopefully Russian Poppy won't fall too far behind its Yorms, so you don't get super heavily punished. You're not going to get invaded pretty consistently or anything like that. Certainly a little bit of a concern. But you wanted to talk about these mid lane starts. This Restored Artifact just gives you a couple options. You can build into the Chronos Pendant, which got buffed, and is going to be a big deal, I think, this year, just getting that full CDR. I just think that mages with the pen changes, losing Obsidian Shard being your one-stop shop for all your percent pen, having to spread it out throughout the build, it's a blanket nerf for mages against tanks. And so you have to really... You're not blowing up tanks with one rotation of abilities anymore. It just doesn't happen. So I think CDR is going to be the big key this year, because you just need multiple rotations to do the same level that you did with one rotation previously. And that's one of the reasons I think this Restored Artifact start is so strong. It gives good power, it gives good MP5, and it lets you transition to a Chronos Pendant. If you fall behind, you can build into something else and then turn it into a Charon's coin. It just gives you options.
It certainly does. We've got andinster rotating on the backside, the world champion that he is, to potentially catch Meerkat out. Ẓtuart willing to commit the dash already, and that means now Meerkat's left with very few options to retreat away from andinster. Does have the ambush up, but still can't find the basic attack. andinster, that's a dropped kill. Certainly Meerkat should have fallen there.
Man, just, I don't know that what else Andy really could have done. Maybe position the jump slightly differently so he was a little bit closer for the next auto. Still has Blink and might still want it, but Mask here going to put him in combat and prevent that from happening. But just a really good play by Meerkat to be aggressive in that lane. Ẓtuart did a great job as well, as Baskin actually just used the ultimate to try and catch andinster, but a quick blink from Andy got him out of danger.
Yeah, it's an interesting gank to talk about over there, right? I mean, you can maybe make the argument that Ẓtuart goes in a little too soon, or maybe it's that Cyno waits a little too long. I mean, it's so hard to try and talk about exactly how that one goes well, but you're certainly right to focus in on Meerkat, staying calm there, making sure he's able to retreat and avoids taking an early death. That's a huge deal for Baskin and the boys.
And the big thing is that he just does enough damage on the outset to Ẓtuart that he can't play aggressively.
Cyno is the one that's underneath some siege here on the right-hand side. Manages to best barely, though, get away. This is Aquarius and Mass, despite that early death, still continuing to be aggressive here on this right-hand side of the map. So as you said, Meerkat gets away, avoids taking that spill. That's so important there for them. Where is this next point that we're going to be looking at this aggression? Is it going to continue to be Cyno that is aggressive, or do you think that Mass needs to get more involved?
Yeah, I mean, you'd expect Ravana to be the more aggressive character, but it seems like all the ganks are going through Andy.
Man, Meerkat is just in a hard way over here, isn't he? He does a great job, though, using the beads, forcing out andinster. That is going to mean that Ẓtuart has to take up to the horse to try and catch him out, but it's not enough damage. I think slowed initially when he was trying to catch back up. So that's huge now. Twice, Meerkat's been able to survive this aggression.
And this is the new role for him. We just talked about how he used to be in mid and is now in this ADC role. I've been impressed with what we've seen so far.
Oh, this is a problem, though, from Geno. Just kind of gives this one away. Trying to come up and find that root might have been enough damage, maybe, but just gets caught out by the Cobra's Kiss. Brought under tower. Low chance of success on that one.
And that feels so bad for Meerkat because he just made a really good play to escape the 2v1. Okay, I didn't give the boys a kill. And then Geno walks in and really gives one away. And for all of Geno's really, really great skill sets as a support, I think he is one of, if not the most talented support at this level, the just under SPL level.
Agreed.
Still has moments like that where he just makes the wrong decision and puts himself in a bad spot. And then he tends to play so aggressively that he doesn't always recover very well from the holes that he sometimes finds himself in.
You're exactly right, though, I think, to mention him so highly. Meerkat in trouble again, and this time no way he's getting out of that. Perfect synergy between Ẓtuart working together with Cyno. That stun into the Mark of the Golden Crow ricochet. Hard to get out of that.
Yeah, just a weird decision there by Meerkat to hold the wave in that way. I mean, if you want to hold near your tower line, you kind of have to accept that your melees are going to die, and you're going to have to clear those if you want to get the gold so the tower doesn't stop them. I don't like the decision to play it that way when you don't have beads. Just a little bit too far forward. That's an easy kill if Cyno's on that side of the map.
And now Geno in trouble yet again. I believe the passive already procced underneath the tower, leaked to avoid the root, but they can't commit to Geno enough to find the kill just yet, despite Kali's burn potential. Geno wants to stick around, though, to at least try and defend this purple, but against two assassins, that is so much harder to do than it is just to say. Cyno wants to keep the fight going on, though, with Geno this low. Good bait from him with backup coming in from Baskin, but they let the fight go.
This is a good rotation by Baskin because Mask really hasn't paid any attention at all to this left-hand side.
It really hasn't.
I'm surprised because that right side was going so well.
Meerkat trying to dive onto Pegon here on this Kukulkan, but it's so difficult when he drops that ultra down on top of Van. The tornado,
hello.
Persephone with the grasp of death from off-screen shuts him down. Hard to get away from that.
But RelentlessOne doesn't want to let it go. Mask, no ultimate. A bad ultimate, though. Coming from Russian Poppy, just not even in the neighborhood. Mask might be able to... No, okay, Andy's playing Serqet. He's got him. But it requires a little bit more than I think Locked and Goated really wanted to commit.
Yeah, they had to commit 2 ultimates to take down this low HP Mask.
And a blink.
3 if you count in Pegon's that was used in the middle of that fight, right? He had to use his ultimate too, so certainly more commitment than I think they were looking for there. But this just raises so many questions. Why is Mask choosing to focus so much on this right-hand side of the map?
Especially when Aqua already got himself a solo kill. I mean, there's 2 trains of thought, I think, for junglers. Is do I lean on the lane that's ahead and try and get myself more ahead and let my solo laner really dominate, or do I try and switch it up and get my other lanes falling a little bit behind? I think that with the way that Ẓtuart's lost relics and ultimates, a lot like what Geno has done, and Meerkat's done a pretty good job of pulling ultimates and relics out of Ẓtuart most of the time anyways, I think that I'd like to see Mask spend more time on the left-hand side. I think there is kill potential.
Cyno is able to lead the way over the wall, though, and avoid getting hit by the aggressors in the jungle. You might have caught a glimpse of that jungle shrine. We'll talk about it later, because Cyno is in trouble. Persephone can be so difficult to deal with inside the destruction ultimate. Will not save him for long. Mask comes in and cleans that kill up, but it's Baskin that gets all that started. Ryan, would you rather talk about the fight, or can we talk a bit about jungle shrines?
I think we can talk a little bit about jungle shrines. Hey, Baskin hit a cool skill shot. We've seen that before.
Sure.
I think that jungle shrine is one of those things that we'll see really good teams. It'll look like they aren't even worried about it, but they are.
Right.
I think that's the big thing, is how well can you path and set up your pathing to make sure that you're getting it without expending a whole lot of resources. Because you don't want to make it a focal point. You just want to do it naturally.
Well, Gold Fury being started up and confirmed by Lockton Goaded. Geno does get here, find the 3-man mez and the epic uppercut. Țtuart incredibly low, and Kumba's got some damage. Geno being brought back in by the last breath as well, stuck inside their tornado, perfectly played by Andy to make sure that he dies to Pegon on the Kukulkan, but they want a bit more aggression. Meerkat still here on the Ho Yi, diving in the back line to Aqua, but he can't be looking to commit the third shot. I say it, but he is. He's willing to even try and die for this one once. The knock up into the consuming bellow, and can he catch up? He can. Aqua commits for it, but now all he can do is back. And how does Țtuart not know he's here? He lets him back.
He's the biggest character the entire game. Yeah, that's surprising to me. Maybe Țtuart just didn't want to waste that much time, but
maybe.
I feel like that's worth your while as Cyno does not find what he was looking for in the mid lane. A curious decision there. Doesn't have the ultimate. I don't think he's getting that. He's never surviving that play anyways. Baskin may have been his target, so maybe he does survive if he gets that kill, but seemed ambitious that the jump was going to do enough damage to execute Baskin in that moment anyways.
Certainly a curious decision. There's been a bunch of them, right? I mean, you got to think even if Țtuart somehow didn't see Aqua, I mean, your buddy should be letting you know, right? Who just died to him. I mean, I don't know. There's a whole ton of things to think about there. But they've got one more member caught out in mid. Grasp of Death does not land this time, and andinster should be able to retreat back to safety as a result. But this has been an active early game, and I think that's something we can expect here in Season 7. Invades maybe aren't quite as strong as last year, but certainly you should still be in the jungle looking for what you can get.
I think so too. I mean, we saw both supports invade and have it make an impact on the junglers in the early game. I think that at the casual level, you're seeing a lot of players be like, oh, there's Hog, and we don't get to stack health potions, and Vision Shard, like all these reasons we shouldn't invade. And I think this level of players just don't feel that way. I think that we're going to see plenty of invades.
That speed's forced out from Meerkat in the 1v1 against Țtuart. Big ultimate comes through to try and lock down one. Baskin already low, buying himself some time, but even when he's killed, Persephone gets to keep fighting from the afterlife. Geno has his passive propped as well, but no one can go clean that one up. So this is just free damage for Baskin. Meanwhile, Meerkat kind of stuck in a weird position, chooses to get aggressive onto andinster, but this is risky. Cobra's Kiss forces out the dive bomb. Ambush closes the gap, but Meerkat avoids getting hit by the spit and makes it out.
Smart play by Meerkat to straight line out. I think a lot of players try and juke the Zephyr coming from Pegon, and that just gets you killed. Pegon played around the juke, that's the only angle at which he could have ended up hitting that Zephyr, but Meerkat understood that he was out far enough at that point. And
Meerkat has played well, hasn't he, by the way? I think he's played well today.
I think so far. I mean, that doesn't stop the fact that he's 2 levels down at this point, but there has been a lot of attention paid by Lockton Goaded on that side of the map, and I like his decision to go into Bloodforge. We're seeing this a lot more from ADCs, and I think this is a moment where it feels really good. Țtuart is ahead, so he can afford to get that Devourer's Gauntlets, but Meerkat's just behind. He needs the power now. It's his power, and he needs it now. And so you go with the Bloodforge to do that. It really does require you to catch up quickly, but it's possible.
You know, I was wondering, would we see the crit builds have been so prevalent from these hunters as RelentlessOne still under pressure. Aqua's shown he's willing to die phoenixes at this point, but RelentlessOne has made it safely away from everyone else's action. I was wondering if we were going to see these crit builds because Rage has been so popular now, it's so much stronger, and hunters like getting all of that % chance for crit right away. Are you expecting that from these two, even with the Executioner 3rd slot here for Țtuart?
Yeah, I'm surprised that Țtuart doesn't build Rage in that 3rd slot. I would expect it 4th. I think that the crit build is just outright better than the pen build right now. I think that these tanks are starting to feel the ability to withstand more damage from magicals without having to stack as much magical D as they used to. And so they might be getting a little bit greedy with their builds at times. I think crit is really strong.
Geno, level 8 for this fight. There's just no way he can stand up to this much damage. Cyno finds the first one by removing Geno from the equation. Meerkat, though, still trying to run out of there. Amassed, I mean, and he gets hunted down. Baskin does find one return kill on the Cyno. That's a pretty big deal. But now he's being hunted down by the Kukulkan, doing everything he can to close this gap. But Baskin now winning the 1v1 with the Persephone, but does get caught by that Heavenly Banner. Forces the Aegis out, though, towards the tail end. I think he needed it.
Baskin just 2v1'd basically that entire fight. As the rest of Lockton Goaded were going south and trying to kill Mask and Meerkat, Baskin solos Cyno after his ultimate expires, and then nearly found Pegon, got a couple ultimates, a couple relics. Really good play so far by Baskin. I've been impressed with this Persephone. Especially for Baskin, who is kind of known for just sticking to the old school gods. You know, if he can play Vamana every game, he's a happy man. Even when King Arthur was all the rage in solo lane last year, Baskin was not about it, sticking to Amma and Vamana for a lot of his time in the solo lane. to pick up a god like Persephone that definitely requires a little bit more time investment, he's looked very, very strong on it.
Yeah, I'd argue one of our tougher new releases is Persephone, so certainly Baskin's put some good time in to make sure he's comfortable with it. I mean, that is comfort, right? Those 2 fights that we just saw from him, that was trust that he had the damage, and he was right. Without that Aegis, I think he does get the 2 for 1 and maybe even make it back out of there. So a really big fight from Baskin that last time because nothing else was working for the squad there.
Or if Baskin just had enough seeds to go into his passive and stay alive after that, he would have killed Pegon even through the Aegis, 100%. Just have to make sure that as soon as you die and you don't have enough seeds, your focus should basically be just getting to 25 seeds again as fast as possible so you have it up. Even if you're just standing there in mid doing nothing, planting and popping and planting and popping, getting to that 25 mark is important.
Well, the next Fury of the game has been looked at. This is Primal Fury, pulled by Locked and Goated. Baskin and the boys trying to make their way in. Good damage they'll put onto RelentlessOne. This feels like one of the first fights we've seen him in so far. He's not going to have nearly as much impact as Aquarius. Can he maybe turn things around? But look at this long loop around from Cyno. Certainly has a chance to catch them all off guard. Already, though, Geno has been caught into the grasp of death for the CC immunity from Baskin, but stunned from the top. RelentlessOne, perfect this time. Cyno gets the next kill. Baskin's still here, though, in that passive form, so he can put some damage in, but it will not deter Cyno. A double coming out now for this Kali in the jungle. Wow. A runaway fight for Locked and Goated.
4 for 0. This should be a fire giant. Who cares about this Primal Fury? And look, as much as I think Meerkat played mechanically well in a lot of those ganks to the left-hand side, eventually you have to realize that putting yourself in these situations and the way that Locked and Goated were playing around that side of the map made it impossible to just rely on mechanical skill alone. It's been too much to handle. Look at the experience deficit on that left-hand side. A 4-level deficit for Meerkat, a 3-level one for Geno. In the jungle, Cyno was up 2 levels at the beginning of that team fight. Baskin and the boys are the headliners in this SCC about experience, mechanical skill. They are the team to beat. They're 5 former SPL players, but it's clear that they still need to get ramped, and they just aren't playing to that level. And Locked and Goated is a team that looks far more practiced. I think the way Cyno has really played around andinster, Ẓtuart on the left-hand side has been really, really impressive to me, and that's clearly been a focus. Locked and Goated just seem more, pardon the pun, locked in this game, whereas Baskin and the boys just kind of hit the slam Q button.
I agree with what you're saying, as Baskin's been caught out in mid. An easy pickup kill now for Locked and Goated. Surrender vote being started, I doubt that's going to go through, but I think it does kind of show some frustration there from Baskin, right? I mean, he did not get any chance to interact with that, except for his positioning choice, obviously. Primal Fury will go down in favor of Locked and Goated, plus the Fire Giant. I mean, they're in a great spot now to make a big push. 2 tier 2 towers to go take down, about 3K gold for them there, and then to start looking at these Phoenixes, and Baskin's been the best person on Baskin and the boys so far with this Persephone.
Absolutely, it's not even close. I mean, this is where Locked and Goated never degroup the rest of the game. They've got a 9K lead in 18 minutes. That's absurd.
A massive lead as Aqua's forced into the ultimate defensively. Geno comes out to say hello, but my man is level 10, 18 minutes into the game, and gets flattened by the big-time ultimate from Pegon, and that will be the surrender vote coming out. A 4-man white. Locked and Goated take the win.
I mean, that surrender does make some sense to me at the very least. You get 4 for 0'd again for the second team fight in a row, and that was going to be a mid Phoenix. That game was effectively over. I think that really moving forward into game 2, Baskin and the boys just need to play better around that dual lane side of the map.
Agreed.
Aqua was good on that right side. Mask needs to come over and help the new guy in the role, which is Meerkat. If Cyno's going to pay that much attention, if andinster's going to pay that much attention, I think that Mask needs to at least match that alongside Geno.
Yeah, clearly Meerkat needed some help. I think he played well in the early, but that's too much pressure for him to be over there alone. He ended up so far behind. But that's only game 1. The semifinals here are a best of 5, so plenty more SMITE coming your way after this quick break.